All right, so we are recording. Hello, welcome aboard Pure Romance Consultants. I am Dana Barish, and tonight we are going to be talking about how to keep your hostesses super excited, how to get them on board to want to have more guests invited to their show, and how to actually get a few more hostesses on the books. Always a good tip or two. So this is not going to be a super long training, which is nice. But here's what we're going to talk about. It's all going to be about coming down to treating your hostess like a queen and making sure that she knows that the two of you are on the same team and that you're both trying to achieve the same goals, which is a super successful party. Now, what I want you to do with every single hostess that you book is not just to book them and leave them. And that's what some people do. You know, they get the date, maybe you set up a Facebook event, and then you think you're just going to roll up and see her at her house that day. And that's where the problem is. And I know when I was new 16 years ago, that's how I started. And I would book all these parties. And the day before, I would call the hostess to see if there was a party. And most of the time, there was no party. And I just thought I was going to roll up in a driveway and there was going to magically appear a party. So I had to think of a way to make these hostesses stick, get them excited, because it's a lot of work to book a party. So if you don't know who I am, welcome. I'm Dana, and this is my 16th year doing exactly this. I do this full time, and I got to tell you, I make upper six figures a year, make a ton of money. But what the cool thing is that any of you can do this. You don't need to have any kind of a business background. You don't have to have any prior sales experience. And I built this business one hostess at a time. So if you can remember that, you know, Dana Barish built her business one party at a time. You can do the same thing. So that's all you need to think about is getting parties. Parties are paydays, and then keeping those parties. So if you're not sure about how much work it is to book a party, go out there tomorrow and try to find one just on the street. So it's going to require some effort, right? So, you know, it takes you getting out of your comfort zone. You have to like literally open your mouth. You have to carry things about pure romance. You might want to wear some logo gear out and about. And so once you finally get lucky enough to score a party, so it's not like it's impossible or hard, but it's just there's work involved, okay, to get these parties, or whether you're sitting at a trade show all day. The last thing that you need to do is lose a booking to a cancellation or show up and there's just you and the hostess, right? So we don't want that to happen. So there are some steps you can do to ensure that that does not happen. So the first thing you want to do is any party booked is you just want to send a thank you out. You don't want to sit and write a million rules or your cancellation policy or start going over, you know, things you expect her to do. So first thing I would do is just be grateful. Have an attitude of gratitude towards your hostess. Send her a text. You know, a text goes a long way. You know, thank you, Mary, for booking your party next month. I'm really looking forward to working together to get you a ton of free stuff. You know, things like that. And get them a little excited. You know, I'm going to send you some catalogs. Feel free to circulate those before your party. If you can get some outside orders, that's great. That will help towards your sales. Now, for all outside orders, I give them 15% hostess credit instead of 10. So they have extra incentive to do that. I would almost give them 20%. Double. You could tell them double hostess credit for outside orders, because I will tell you, we're not Pampered Chef, we're not Mary Kay, which means most of our hostesses are not getting us outside orders because of our privacy and confidentiality and the nature of our products. We're not doing baking sheets. Okay. So we have, you know, lube and bedroom accessories. So it's a big difference. It's not to say that people won't buy it, but it's a little more work for her. And it's if you give her a reason to work for you, she'll do it. If you say you're just going to get 10%, I wouldn't work that hard for 10% either. But if you said, I'll give you double hostess credit for all outside orders, it's money you wouldn't have had. And the great thing about an outside order is you can actually give your guest that ordered, you know, all your information. So it's someone who's not coming to the party, and it's someone who could be a potential customer for life and could be a potential down the road hostess. And most of you are losing out on opportunities. So I cannot stress it enough to put catalogs in a hostess packet to your for your hostesses. So what goes in the hostess packet? Always a cover sheet, and I'm not going to go into all that tonight because I have other videos on that, but it's a cover sheet, catalogs, half a pack of invitations. That's it. It's that easy. Okay. So they need some hard copy invitations, but those catalogs, I would get sticky notes and I would write on there sticky note that says, every outside order is double hostess credit for you. Pass these catalogs around, holler if you run out, and put 6 in there. So that's why I like to give out the hostess packets the night of the show. Or if it's a friend of yours who booked a party, you can meet up with her so you don't have to spend the money to mail it out because paper gets heavy and expensive to mail. Not that I don't do it, but if I can avoid it, I will. I always like to save $1 or $2, right? Okay, so outside orders. The other thing I would highly recommend you putting in a hostess packet is a little coupon that says, get a party from someone who couldn't come and I'll give you $50 to spend at your party, okay? So if she can get a party booked that somebody who couldn't come, you'll give her $50. Now what I would do is give her in a gift certificate, hand it to her the night of her show and tell her it actually activated the night of the booking. So let's say your party is October 15th with this hostess and this other hostess booked November 1st. So I would say I'm going to give you $50 handed at your party, but it's going to say valid November 1st, you know, for the year or whatever on. So that way, in case it cancels, you don't have to pay out $50 for nothing. So, but again, you have to get these hostesses excited. You know, if you say, give me some parties, they're not going to get you parties because it's a lot of work. But think of all the people that they're hearing no from. I want you to write this down. I need to capture the no's. So write that down. I need to capture the no's. How are you capturing all the no's that the hostess is hearing right now? And if you think about it, you're like, I'm not capturing them because I don't have their information. You know, half of them aren't even on Facebook. You know, maybe she, you know, told some of her coworkers and they were like, oh, I would love to come, but that date is no good. Those would have been the perfect people to say, well, you know what? She's giving me an offer. If you book a party, you could do it for them too, where she has an offer to say, she'll give you $50 and I get $50 extra to book a party. So why don't you book one? So that could be an option if you're like putting that out there. So I want you to really focus on how can I capture the information, the business of all of the no's. And if you can start thinking like that, think like a hostess. Like, what is she doing tomorrow with her date? She knows she's got a party with you November 16th. She's going to the gym. She's going to probably invite some of her gym friends. She's going to go to the hair salon, talk to her hairdresser about it. And once she hears a no, what goes on? Okay, so you got to figure out how to capture those people. So you could even give her even more credit for outside orders. You know, double hostess credit on all outside orders, plus for every order, get an extra $10. I don't know, whatever you want to come up with, but it's still capturing and it's still getting her. It's literally her working your business. She's kind of like your affiliate partner, and that's what you want. You want affiliate partners because she's literally making money for you while you're sleeping, if you think about it. So she could be getting outside orders and she could be getting parties. And like the skies, the opportunities are endless. So it's just really clear for you to push forward with that. Okay, so you've got your party booked and you gave her a hostess packet. Now what? Here's the thing. You really want her to get a lot of people at her party. I want you to treat every hostess, write this down, like she's never hosted a party before, okay? That's what I want you to think, okay? So if you can think like your 18-year-old daughter is now hosting a party, and what would you tell her? So that's how you're to treat every hostess. The problem is most of us treat hostesses like they know what they're doing. Like, oh yeah, they're gonna go invite everybody, they're gonna have this, and half of them really have never hosted a party, or maybe better than half ever. Or if they did, it was like a jewelry or a makeup party, and it's not the same protocol as what we do. The Mary Kay people don't want them to have a living room full of people because they can't deal with that many people. They just want they want them to have like 3 people in there to do facials, right? We want 20 people in the living room, okay? So we would love, an ideal party would be 20 people easily, if not more. Some of you are like, no, I like smaller crowds. I like a bigger group, just because it ups my averages of booking parties, getting recruit leads, and selling more products. So not always, but I do like a bigger crowd. So that's what we're going to skew to tonight. So Here's the thing. Verbal. Write this down. Verbal is how it starts. It starts verbally. So even if you're booking with someone via Facebook message, where I've done that, where I book parties, I never even talk to them on the phone until the night before. So I always call them the night before. That's the only time I call them. I would still start what I would call verbal communication. So it would be talking to them like an 18-year-old, like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I cannot wait to hook you up with all this free stuff. So you want to start off with a excited statement. So write that down, always, even verbally. So if someone comes to your show and says, I want to book a party, you don't go, okay, here's the dates. You say, oh my God, how exciting. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. Oh, girl, I bet you're going to have so many people at your party and your friends are going to love you. What a great idea. That's so amazing. I cannot wait for you to do a party with me. It's going to be amazing. Okay, so that gets them a little reinforcement, like, oh my God, they're not crazy for wanting to book to do one of these parties and that they can do it. So you want to give them a little confidence, a little reassurance. The next thing is telling them how to invite. This is really key. So write this down. I need to tell my hostess how I want her to invite. Okay. This is what you're going to do. So first, you're going to tell her to invite. This is key because this is where they screw up. I need you to invite literally everyone without censoring who you're inviting. Okay. Because what happens is they're like, oh, I can't invite that girl. She's always at church. Oh, I can't invite her. Her husband's a minister. Oh, I can't invite this one because she is just, she's just single. She's not going to want anything, right? This is what happens in their minds. We all think, no, that's crazy. Why would they think like that? You don't know. I've been doing this a long time. Tell me this is how they think. So it's very important for you to kind of just clear it with them that, hey, I want you to not assess who you think would or would not come to your party and just invite everyone, because it's actually more offensive when you don't invite someone. I can tell you this for a fact because one of my very best girlfriends who I did a party for a friend of hers at her temple, and her husband, the hostess' husband's a dentist, is their dentist and everything. And it was really funny that my friend Stacy, she told me, she said, oh my God, I cannot believe Rebecca's having a party for you. And I didn't get invited. And she has no idea, like, Stacy was at my first couple parties in my house. Like, she's been to a million parties. Of course she would. And I go, oh my God, she thinks you're a big prude. That's hilarious. Like, we thought that was funny. Now, this was like 10 years ago. But I always kept that in the back of my mind, like, wow, people just don't know. I also had another party one time where a woman came in my shopping room, or actually the hostess told me, she said I was almost going to not invite this one neighbor because she's super like uptight. She works for NASA and she just, stick in the mud, yada, yada, very prude, da, 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 da. Last minute decide to invite her. And the woman came in the shopping room and she said, I know that they weren't going to invite me. They told me they didn't think this would be up my alley. And this woman dropped $500 in my order. Literally. So again, if you can think like that, and I know some of you guys are brand new, so you're like, what? I'm just telling you, this is just, you got to think like they don't know. So you're going to tell them to invite everyone. So write that down. It's very important. This is very important information. Okay. The second thing is when you're telling them to invite everyone they know is to tell them, very important, that they must tell their friends to bring a friend. I want you to tell all of your friends to bring a friend. Why? Not because, oh my God, I want to overflow your living room, but people bail, number one. And number two, people are more likely to show up if they have a buddy. So it's like a support system for them. They're bringing their sister, they're bringing their aunt, they're bringing their coworker, they're bringing their neighbor. They're a little nervous. They've never been to one of these parties. They don't know what to expect. And you and I know it's going to be great, but they've never been. Most women have never been. And so they're nervous. So think of it like a support system for them. So the more people that bring friends, the better your head counts, the better your shopping spree. And you're already cleaning your house. Why, you're doing all that work, cleaning your house, getting the kids out, kicking the husband out. Might as well have a good show. Okay. So, and people will bail last minute. So I would tell everyone to bring a friend. All right. So that's very important. Now, if you're doing this on Facebook Messenger, you can do the same thing. You can send it via Facebook Messenger. text, but I like to do this in person because most of the time, I'd say 9 times out of 10, you're probably booking them in person at the show, or if you're out and about or at a trade show or whatever. So it's not going to be as big a connection with someone on text, but you could do it. All right. The next thing is to make sure when you're booking these parties, here's another tip, is to really map out on your calendar when is going to be a good time to have a party. So I screwed that up in my first year in business, and I will tell you some bad places for parties. One is if in your area there's a mega college football town and your home team is playing on like that Saturday, it's a waste to even book a party. Super Bowl Sunday is one I've never been able to. Now people have been able to. I've never. Like anything around a holiday for me, I have a hard time. So just kind of keep an eye and kind of look, because it ends up being more of a hassle. So I kind of look ahead like the next 3 months. So I make sure I know Thanksgiving weekend. I might want to definitely know when Yom Kippur is, spring break. You know, just because you don't celebrate the holiday doesn't mean other people won't. Hanukkah is December 12th, so I'd write that down because you'll get Jewish people that can't have that week. Christmas, Kwanzaa, all that. So make sure you know that, and so you can even ask the person, you know, are you Jewish? Because that's Hanukkah. And if they say no, and you say, okay, well then that's fine. Are you friends? I even ask, are you friends? Because sometimes they do. Like, yeah, a lot of my friends are like, okay, let's stay out that week, right? So that just keeps you from having a cancellation right off the bat, because sometimes it's more of a hassle for them to reschedule. And they're just like, oh, forget it for now. I'm too busy. I'm moving. Da, 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 da. So you want to avoid having to reschedule by looking for perfect dates. Also ask her about her kids. You know, when I'm talking to her, like, hey, do you have kids in sports, or are you divorced? Do you have them every other weekend? So finding the perfect date is also key. Now, remember, there is no perfect date. That's the other thing I want you to write down, because you're going to tell her, listen, there is no perfect date. And I can promise you right now, whatever date we pick, there's going to be a few very, very, very close, fun, super awesome friends that can't come, no matter what the date is. So I want you to just kind of let that go right now, because there is no perfect date. So just pick a date that works for you and your family, and whoever can come is the right people to come, and let's just, you know, keep it at that. Okay, so that's what you're going to say for that. All right, so she's got a Hostess package. She's got order forms. Order forms are optional. Catalog and hard copy invites. The next thing I do is send reminders in the mail. So I'm not going to go into that because that's a whole other video as well, but you could do anything in the mail. But I do have documents that I send out. Even if you send out one document, there's tons of documents on the COO, 40 guests in 4 minutes, how to have a $2,000 party, those kind of documents. But I send them one time a month. So 1 month out, 3 months, 3 weeks out, and 2 weeks out. So they get a little reminder in the mail, and that keeps it kind of exciting for them. And at the bottom of all those mail outs, it just gives them the little reminders, no men, children, or babies at the party. It might say, don't forget to over invite. And also on the outside of the envelopes, I like to write little notes to her, like, oh my gosh, can't wait to meet your work friends, can't wait to meet your neighbors, can't wait to, you know, whatever, see how beautiful your house is, things like that. Okay, so that keeps her kind of excited with those mail outs that you're still coming, and you're not going to harass her. I really feel people are just blowing up people's texts and blowing up their Facebook messages, and I don't send my hostess a single Facebook message or text at all. So she only gets that big initial conversation, how to invite, you know, take these cards with you, these postcards, put them in people's, so I didn't tell you that. So in the hostess packet, I tell her also, take these hard copy invitations, put them in neighbors' mailboxes, bring them to the gym, pass them out to people at the gym, put them in your purse, take them to happy hour, toss them out. You know, if you're going to a neighborhood barbecue, toss them, because not everybody checks their Facebook events, not everybody looks at their phone, and they might miss it or overlook it or forget about it. And this way they have something they can put up on their wall, on their refrigerator, something that just is tangible that they can touch. Okay, so those invitations are key. And I always tell them, you know what, when you run out of those, call me, I'll give you some more. When you run out of the catalogs, call me, I'll get you more catalogs. So this is how I keep the hostess excited. Now, if you have any specials running, there's another great thing to write on the outside of this envelope. So if you're like, November special is all hostesses get a year's supply of coochie for free. So, and you consider that 4 bottles or maybe it's 3 bottles, whatever. I would write that down every time on the outside of the envelope. Cannot wait to give you the free coochie for a year special. Don't forget, need 10 shoppers to get it. And that's what I would put, that's where I put the reminders on how to get the offer. That way they know if they're sitting at 9 RSVP'd, they got to drum up a few. And I would remind them, you know, you need 10. I would make sure you have 11 there just in case someone bails. Okay. So this is how you keep the hostess excited without like saying demand. You don't want to put demands on her like, I have a cancellation policy. I need to have this many people. I'm not going to show. I need that, you know. Notice I didn't use any of that negative talk. It was all friendly. It's fun. You know, she gets the feeling that we're partnered up. We're in this together. I want to help her with a free shopping spree. I want to hook her up. You know, she's already cleaning her house. Let's get this party huge and get things cranking. So this is really, that's really it. And then you can do the Facebook event. A Facebook event to me is like gravy. It's a little extra. So I do a Facebook event and I do some posts, but I notice a lot of people don't even see the post. They don't even pay attention to it. I've even asked guests who said yes to the event that night of the show, did you see that post in the event? They always say no. So the Facebook event, just think of it as gravy. So never think of it as your main form of communication with the hostess and the guests because it's kind of an afterthought. So just remember that. You can always do a hard copy. It's going to be great. You can even try Evite. Evite's not bad. You know, they can send out texts, but I never had a lot of luck with the red stamp, so I stopped doing the red stamp. I stopped with the texting. The texting for me, you know, here's a text you can send your friend, save the date. I don't know why for me, but anytime I do that, it's like the kiss of death. It just like, it guarantees that it's going to fall off. So I don't know why. It's the weirdest thing. So it may work for you, but I'm just telling you what works for me. Never worked, so I just gave up on it. Okay, so I think I covered everything as far as keeping your hostess excited, reminding of her of what your special is. And if you're like, man, I don't have a special, why don't you think of one right now? So if you have some shows coming up, like in the next few weeks, come up with one like, hey girl, wanted to let you know if you have 12 shoppers at your show, I'm going to be able to give you this or an extra that, or you can have this, you can have an extra bottle of coochie, you can have an extra body dew, you can have a whatever. So you can give them a little offer, and that's gonna, if you can put that out now, that's gonna give her some extra excitement. You know, send her a message, you know, put it on your mail out in the back of the envelope. Hey, just wanted to let you know I just came up with a really great special that you can cash in on this too. Isn't this fun? Just need 10 shoppers. Jen Marshall on her team. So I'm going to tell you a little secret about her. Last summer, her summer times are just insane. Like she books so many parties. She does awesome. And she always comes up with a really good giveaway for her hostesses to get them excited. And she changes it every year. And they're usually really good giveaways. Like the one summer she just did everyone got 15% hostess credit, which is huge, right? It's a lot more that you have to cough up, but it solidifies your summer. What she did this summer was she did every hostess, if they had 10 shoppers, they got anything they wanted out of that catalog for free as their hostess gift. Now that's huge because that's a lot more money than some of those other hostess payouts, but she sold $55,000 over the summer. So I can tell you from June to September, because I just ran her numbers, $55,000. So yes, she might have had to give away an extra $20, $30, $40 out of her pocket for that gift. But she told me, she said, and every party she said was $1,500. She said that she had a hostess who only had nine shop at her party, and she said, if you can get me an outside order, you know, I'll give you the item. And this hostess went and got her one. It was like $100 and some, or dragged somebody that was like leaving or came late or something at that party. I think it was, yeah, it wasn't an outside order. And it made this girl shop. And it was like $150 because then you can work your magic in the shopping room. So super, super cool. I thought that was a great idea. I wanted to share it with you guys that, you know, sometimes you new people get really nervous. Like, I can't give that much away. You really can, because you're going to make it up from the 10 shoppers. So don't trip over what you're giving the hostess. Like, oh, I got to give her an extra $40 gift. So what? You had 10 guaranteed shoppers. The average guest spends $50 to $100 per person on up. So 50 times 10 is $500 show. So what? You had to give another $40 away. Consider how much you would have spent on a trade show to book that party. I always like the trade show analogy because like a trade show is like $500. Some are $1,000. And if you book 10 parties and you paid $1,000 for a show, you'd be pretty happy. But that's still $100 a party if you do the math, if they all hold, that you had to cough up out of pocket. Now these shows, so let's say she got any item out of the catalog for free and excluding Euphoria. Let's say, of course, she's going to pick the $200 item, the $189 main attraction. So at your cost, you probably had to shell out $90. So it cost you $90, but you would have already had to give her a Hostess gift. You probably were giving her a free coochie for a year, which was 4 bottles at $80. So this is maybe like another $30, like I said, $30, $40 out of your pocket. So out of your pocket. So if you think of it like that, do the math that way. And this is a solid party because those 10 bridal show parties aren't going to have 10 people at them. And who knows if they stick. They're not guaranteed 10. So think about that. And think about those 10 shoppers who you're going to convert into hostesses because you're going to do a killer hostess booking deal. You're going to do a great hostess speech at the beginning. You're going to watch my video I did over at Destination Success. But so think what that extra $40 is really costing you. It's not. It's like propelling your business forward. Hopefully you're getting 3 parties, maybe more. I did a party one time. I got 7 bookings. 7. So you don't even know what one party could lead to. And when you're thinking small and you're thinking, I can't give that much away, it's going to cost me, I don't want to give them 15% hostess credit, well, good. Then you can sit home on a Friday night and sit on the couch and watch TV and make nothing. You can make no money. So I'd rather be out there on a Friday night and, clearing an extra $300, whatever. So what, I had to give away an extra $30 out of my pocket. I don't care. I made $300 or $400, $500, whatever. It's just crazy. So I hope you guys see, and I can see the big picture because I've done this a long time. That's why I love to do trainings with you guys, because I've been there, done that. I've done everything you've done that you've screwed up. I've screwed up 4 million times more than you have. I've learned from my mistakes, so I want you to learn from my mistakes. So that's why I tell you what to do, so you don't have to do these painful mistakes, because that's how you learn. That's how any business, even if I opened up a Kentucky Fried Chicken business, I would learn from my mistakes, burning the chicken or, hiring someone that wasn't supposed to be, like, they're just, they're costly learning experiences, but in the end, they're going to make you stronger and better, and your time is going to be better spent. So I'll give you guys a couple quick booking ideas too, because I know we wanted to add a few more parties to our books. I wanted you to quickly remember what I told you guys about, good, some questions. So someone was asking about the mailing system. So I don't make any calls. Good question. So Sarah wants to know, she does the mailing system. Curious, when do I make my phone calls? 0 calls. 1 call is all I do, and it's the night before. So if my party was tomorrow at 7, I would call her tonight at 7, the night before, 24 hours. And I leave a message because nobody picks up the phone anymore. So, hi, it's Dana Barish. I'm so excited for your party tomorrow. I'm confirming time, place, date, location, and just wanted to get a somewhat final head count from you so I know how to load my car. I want to make sure I have enough catalogs and order forms and pens for everybody. Now, I would say make sure I have enough stock, but you guys most of you don't have stock, and that's okay. You're not expected to have stock until you've been doing this for a while, and even then it's still a choice. And feel free to text me back the number. You don't even have to call me back. So sometimes they don't, they just text, but I get it. But I just need to hear back from you. So please make sure you call, text, Facebook message, whatever. So, and then I'll send a text too that says the same thing. And that's the only time I hear from them. And they'll say, hey, yeah, my address is, make sure you know to go straight at the light. The GPS will take you somewhere else. They'll tell you a little bit about their address, usually if it's something weird or where to park. And then you can also ask about parking too sometimes, because I want to know if it's a townhouse, because if it's a townhouse or a row home. So I live in Maryland, so we have Baltimore row homes, and DC has row homes. And so if I have to park on the street, I need them. Here's what I tell them. I need them to get home from work, 4 or 5 o'clock, whatever time, park their car in the best spot, like the one right outside their house. And when I pull up, we're going to swap. And I'm taking her spot and she's going to go find a spot. Not me, because I got too many bags, too much stuff to lug. So if you can remember that, I've never had a problem with that. So as long as you tell them in advance. A couple times I forgot and didn't think about it and showed up and they were like, I'm like, where do I park? And they're like, go find anywhere you can on the road. One time I literally had to park in a parking garage. It was like 10 blocks away. But she legit had no parking, was in an apartment. But I wish I'd have known that. It was crazy. I was just like, at that point, I didn't care. I dropped all my stuff off, made her come, load it all, take it all up with her friends. And then Connie was with me. We drove to this parking garage. It's like 10 blocks away. I was like, this is nuts. So that was nuts. That was the only nutty one like that. So a little crazy. Yeah, so good question on that. But your name is a household name. Oh, no, it's not a household name. There's a lot of people that don't know me. My hostess is like, let's see, one coming up. No, people give me referrals or, a friend of a friend. So no, I still don't call them because I call them the night before only. So I wouldn't call them because you're calling them and they think that you want something from them and you really don't. So the mail outs are all that you need to do. Try it my way. Just try my way and see the difference and see that you don't need to be making these phone calls. You're better off making calls to book parties and making calls to talk to recruit leads than you are calling an existing hostess and harassing her about head counts and all that other stuff. Because she'll just think that you needed like a bunch of stuff from her. It seems really hard to her and you're trying to call her. She's like talking on the phone. So what's going to happen is that she is going to cancel or no show or something. She's just going to, figure out that this is too hard. Stop it. What's wrong with the dog? There's nothing under the desk. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense to you about the phone calls. I know trying to see what these other messages are. Okay. I think I got all the messages. Yes. Anything else? Okay. So if you can remember what I just told you about how you talk to the hostess about going to the gym, going to the hair salon, taking your invitations to happy hour, taking them to neighborhood barbecue. That, my friends, is also key for you in booking your own party at your own house, which you should be doing at least twice a year. If not, definitely once a year. And if you're new, I would do 2 shows like this. And what happens is you're going to get people you don't know at your house, which is what you want. So when people say, my starter show didn't have a lot of people because my friends didn't show up, I want to say to them, I don't invite my friends to my house and you shouldn't either. So my friends could care less about my business at this point. So that's the funny thing is you think, Hermisha, that I've been in business so long that my friends help me. My friends want nothing to do with this, okay? Well, whatever. They might buy a couple things here and there, but they're like over it, right? Because, they've been to a million parties. So I have to step outside of my box and talk to new people. That's why I like to do it. And I'm going to plan one at my house coming up too. Because I just joined a new yoga studio, so there's all new yogis there, and I just walk around after each class. I'll do it for like 6 weeks before my party, because every week at yoga, it's different people in there. It never is. We have a few core people, but there's a lot of like turnaround in there, and they're like a really good demographic for me. So what I'll do is just and my invitation just says girls night out or happy hour, and I just tell them I'm having a girls night out happy hour at my house, next month, and here's an invitation, and let them read it. I don't even say what it's for. I just hand them out in the locker room, just walk. I walk. People are walking out of class, I'm like, here you go, here's an invitation, here you go, here you go. They're like, thanks. They're looking at like, what is it? So it's really cool. I book parties that way, and I've had people that I don't even know just text me and say, I'm coming to your party. And really cool, right? So that's how I get a lot of people at my house. So if you can think like what you're telling your hostess, you're going to tell yourself, it's going to work. So, and you tell people, if you do get a neighbor who says, I'm coming, first thing you say to the neighbor is, great, bring somebody. Okay, so that's what you need to think like that too. So when you have a party at your own house, you can have massive head counts as well, but you got to think big, just like you're telling your hostess. So it'll start to all make sense for you. Okay, someone hasn't had an actual party at her party yet. See what the question was in the chat. Yeah, it's a word. It's all about the wording, Sarah. Definitely, Brittany. Past the party means a bachelor party. Okay, good. So we have a bachelor party coming up. So cool. Yes, I do have tips for a bachelor party. What I like to do for the bachelorette party is a couple things. There's a few ways to work them. Here's how I like to work them. Is you want to go to the Dollar Tree and get a pack of the cards. Usually they're like silly cards. They don't have like anything related to a bridal shower or bachelorette. But so I just get like, one time I got little kittens on a card that had blank on the inside. One was like teacups, just stupid. That's what I need, right? Get like 2 packs of those. All right. So what I tell the person who's booking the party is I say, do you want all the hostess credit to go to the bride-to-be, or do you want the hostess credit for you? So all the time they're going to say, no, I want it for the bride, because that's why they're doing it. I say, okay, great. Here's how it's going to work. What I want you to do is tell everybody that, you know, they're going to shop for themselves. So the more they buy for them, the more free goodies for her. I'm going to give her the 10% of the hostess credit, but I'm going to bring cards, and I'm going to bring little gift bags. And what we're going to do is they're going to be able to pick out anything that they want on the hostess's wish list, because I'm going to have her make a wish list throughout the party, and I'll bring it down the shopping room. They're going to be able to pick one item, and I tell them to pick something dirty off of there. Pick the nipple clamps, pick the naughty nights, something fun, right? Naughty nighty or something. And they're going to be able to buy that for the bride. I will put in a little gift bag. You can get little gift bags for dirt cheap at Dollar Tree. And they're going to be able to write their best sex tips for a happy marriage on the card. And I'm going to put the card with the gift. And then I'm going to line the gifts up in the shopping room. And that's how I do it. And I do really well with that. I remind them at the party, like, hey, you guys, Sarah's making a really big wish list over here. The only way we're going to help her get that wish list is for you to shop for yourself. So everything you buy is going to give her free shopping dollars. And then what I'll do at the end, those of you, because I know there's probably some guests here tonight that aren't even affiliated with the wedding. And that's what I tell the person booking it. Try to get like some neighbors over. Try to get your mom and her friends. Try to get some people not in the wedding party to come and be the shoppers that we need to push out the sales to get her the free shopping spree. So, and they're going to love it. They'll have a great time. So it's really pure romance party, but it's with, the credit going to the bride-to-be. The only other different thing I do is I will just make a lot of references to the bride, and I'll find out the future husband's name. So let's say it's Sarah and Matt. So I'll say, this is going to be so good for Sarah and Matt on the honeymoon. Man, she's going to need this cream, right, you guys? We're not going to have time. You're going to need this cream. Or oh, this toy packs so well. Where are you guys going again? Greece? Oh, yeah. I could see this ring just going straight through customs in Greece. No problem. And you're going to need the lube to go with that. So make sure you're marking down the just like me, right? So that's kind of how I interact. And that's about all I do. And I might play a funnier, dirtier game that I normally wouldn't do. So something, instead of playing the chore game, I would play the candy game. And I'll tell you the candy game. It's really easy. It's a little dirtier than the chore game. So the game is for them to write down their favorite candy on a piece of paper. Write down. You guys can try it right now. Write it down. So write down your favorite candy. And then I want you to write down next to it the word because. And I want you to tell me why you love this candy. And you can't say anything because it's chocolate or because it's peanut butter. You have to tell me why it really makes your mouth happy. Why it makes your belly happy, why it makes your mouth happy, why it makes your head happy, why it just makes you happy. Okay, so did you guys all write your candy down? It's fun. You should try it. Candy and why it makes you happy. So unmute yourself if you've got yours. And I'll tell you, who wants to go first? Does anyone have one? And I'll tell you what to switch.
Okay.
And you got one? Okay.
My favorite.
Okay, so you're going to say, so Angie's going to go first. You'll have to read your own, but normally we swap with your neighbor. And you're going to introduce yourself and say that you're going to cross out the candy. And all I want you to do is replace that candy with, "Hi, my name is Ange, and I love giving head because," and then you're going to say the answer. So try it.
You're going to love mine. So,
Okay.
my name is Angie, and I love giving head because the center is creamy.
Who else has one? That's good. Hermisha, did you do it? Go ahead, girl.
My name is Hermisha, and I love giving head because it comes in twos.
Comes in twos?
The Twix.
Oh, it comes in a Twix? Ew. Who else has one?
My name is Ann. I like giving head because I like lemon heads. They're tart. They're sour and tart.
Oh, so that's fine. So you cross off the "I like lemon head." So you would say, "My name is Ann. I love giving head because it's sour and tart." You guys get it? It's cute.
Yeah.
It's a little dirtier than normal just because the word giving head. You could say oral favors, but that's too boring. So at a bachelorette party, I would definitely do it that way. So, guys, it's fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when they start talking about creamy and gooey, and like they like the nuts in their mouth. It's funny. It just gets better and better. It's fun. Yeah, you guys be playing this one all the time. It's easy, right? So easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay, good. All right, so let me mute you guys again. All right, so who else? So that was fun. That was a good question. Let's see if anyone else has anyone. Okay, mystery hostesses. So mystery hostess. I've never done a mystery hostess, but I like that idea. I will tell you why, because I'm cheap. Because I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna have a party at my house, I don't have to pay out a hostess. Like, that's money in my pocket, right? So I feel that they'll still come to my house and they don't need the lure of being the mystery hostess. But that's not to say don't do it. So I'm just telling you what, I haven't done it. My rationing, why? But I love it for you guys. What a good, I just say great idea. So I just say do it. Do it every quarter, girl. It's awesome. Sweet. You're smart. Smart, smart, smart. Hermisha's doing hers too. Good girl. I love it. I just think it's great. I think it's great. I get enough people at my house. I can't even imagine if I did a mystery hostess. Like, it'd be like triple the response probably. Like, why wouldn't you come? So that's really cool. Yeah, it's cool. Okay, you guys like that. Favorite booking game. So my favorite booking game is really just book to look, you guys. So you just take the envelopes and you just write on their book to look. I like colored envelopes. And you write book to look on them. And then at the end of the party, I just say, okay, ladies, I have a special offer for anyone who is going to book a show. I have something special in one of these envelopes for you to choose. And all you need to do is book a show with me and you can see what's in the envelope. And it's a special, special offer. It's awesome. It's extra. And I get a special extra offer because I love more offers. If you book one of my hot dates, now the hot dates, you guys, are always going to be 2 weeks out, 2 to 3 weeks out. So today we're on this live 10/10. I love that 10/10. So 2 weeks from now would be what? The 20 and the 20s, sometime around there, like the 23rd, 24th. So anyone who takes a party from the weekend of the 23rd, you can pick 2 of these envelopes. So you get double the bonuses. And you can put whatever you want in here. You can put a ball of coochie. You just write it on a slip of paper, whatever it is, write it out. I used to even be really creative. I would take the item on the COO and I would print it up so you can see the picture of the item, the description, the amount, and I'd put it in there like that. And that was cute. They could actually cash that in. So they get it cashed in at their party. So it's just little extras because you don't want them to go. What happens is people want to go home and think about the perfect date, and you never want them to leave without giving you a date. So it's very important that you have something to get them to say yes to that night. So you never let them get away without giving you a date. And then what you can do is you say when 3 envelopes get opened, unless you're doing the bonus, the double ones, the hostess can pull anything she wants out of the catalog for free. So if I get 3 of these opened, the hostess, you can have a hostess envelope, a golden envelope, like the hostess gets to open up hers if 3 open. So, and then you can put like a door swing in there or something big. You could say, hey, girl, it might be a door swing in there. Who knows? Like, what? Could be something, could be like a premiere in there, like a big $99 toy. Like, I smell a $99 toy. And she doesn't get that till all 3 parties are held. So what happens is, I tell her when all of these, so I say, your friend Mary, her party's on the 9th of November. Your sister Carol, her party's December 12th. And Jeannie, your friend from school, her party is February the 2nd. So when that last party holds on the 2nd, you're going to get anything from the catalog. I also give her $50 per show. So here's the thing. Give her $50 a show if she shows up to their party. If she doesn't show, she only gets $25. Now, let's talk about that. What does that do? So if she shows up at her neighbor's party, do you think she's going to spend more money than just her $50? They always do. I've never had a host come and say, I'm just going to get a $50 item. They'll get something else. Like, I'll get a coochie too. Oh, I would have liked a body do. Oh, I don't remember you having that at the party. You know, she'll say, I didn't smell that. Like, oh, yeah, you did, but okay, girl. Right? Or if she comes, I tell her, hey, hostess Mary, come to these parties. You'll get 50. If you stay home, you'll get 25. So it's double the stuff if you just walk across the street. But do your girls a favor and bring some of those friends that didn't show to your party. Your coworker who wanted to come but couldn't. Your sister who ended up getting sick in the hospital. She can probably come to one of these with you. She'd love it. Let her come. Let her come help these girls out, right? So all those, remember those no's that we're trying to capture? Remember the no's? That's one way to get some of the no's. I just gave you a little hint. I just gave you a little way to capture those no's. The no's. See, like that? Yes. Okay, good. Good. So we're doing good. So does anyone have any questions? Let me end this recording and then I'll let you guys ask more questions privately so this stays not that long on the recording. So thank you guys. This is awesome. I hope you have lots of tips and tricks and ready to up those head counts, eliminate those cancellations. And I didn't give you that many booking ideas, but I would say get out there, wear PR gear. PR gear works for itself. And if you can, wear something like a button if you're not wearing PR gear. Now these you can get at national events. They're at the Patty Brisbane Foundation table, but if you're not at one right now, thebooster.com has asked me about a party. They're generic, they're not pure romance, but they're $1. And it's just something you could wear. You can put it on a tote bag, you can put it on your gym bag, you can put it, like, these are great. So something like that, it just kind of like does subliminal advertising for you. So out and about, so that's my best tip of the day. You can get car magnets. Some people get their cars wrapped. You can do, of course, post on your Facebook walls. You can post on your Instagram, hashtagging. People do searches for hashtag. And business cards are a great way to just get out there, put them on bulletin boards. I also love personalized pens. I have personalized pens with my website on there. I drop them everywhere at the nail salon. When I go pick up pizza, I'll drop one at the counter. So I do get lots of random outside orders that I don't know where it came from, and you can see where they shopped, and a lot are local. So I attribute that to that, or it could be at shows too. Also at parties, I will tell you your best investment is personalized pens. It's my favorite. So it could just say book a party, reorder products, your name, phone, and website on it, and that's it, 5 lines. And you can get them at www.nationalpencorp.com. I think for short it's pens.com. I would go to pens.com right now and sign up for their mailing list because they send out better coupons than what you could find on their website. And that's what you want to shop. Wait for one of those sales. Those sales are all the time. In fact, we're coming up on Black Friday, one more month, if you're watching this live, and they always run really killer deals. So that's the best investment. You can get stick pens for like less than 20 cents a piece, maybe 15, 20 cents, not counting the shipping and setup. That's usually what they waive for the Black Friday. So, I mean, if you're giving out something that costs you 20 cents, like, come on, 5 of those for $1. That's the cheapest form of advertising, and it's effective. People don't throw out pens, and waitresses always need pens. Bartenders always need pens. Pens are great for gift bags. Pens, you can put pens in everything. So if you get them now, if you order them quick, you could even put them in anything Halloween you're passing out to adults. So don't pass out anything to kids, okay, just to adults if you're passing out to the moms. All right. So anyway, I was going to end this recording. So that was your booking tip. So thanks, you guys.